We have the power to print unlimited money, so why isn't poverty a thing of the past? Why do millions still struggle to make ends meet? What if printing money isn't the solution but part of the problem? At first glance, it seems so simple. Money solves problems, so why not just create more of it and end the world's poverty? To understand this, we need to figure out what money really is and what it isn't. Let's travel back in time to the very beginning of trade. Meet Urk and Nog, two cavemen. Urk has a pile of oranges, Nog has a sharp rock. Urk needs the rock for his field and Nog is hungry. Urk, me want rock, Nog, me want orange. And just like that, they trade. Urk is happy, Nog is happy. It's simple, no money needed. This is called bartering, and it worked well when life was simple and people had basic needs. But imagine Nog wants to trade for something else, like a new spear. Suddenly things get complicated. The value of the oranges, rocks, and spears has to be compared, and trading becomes messy. What if no one wants oranges that day? That's where money comes in. Fast forward to 600 BCE in the ancient kingdom of Lydia. Trade has expanded and people are exchanging more complex goods, spices, pottery, textiles, but bartering is chaotic. Imagine trying to trade 10 goats for a clay pot. How would you even carry the goats? Enter King Alyats of Lydia, who introduces small, shiny coins made of electrum, a natural mix of gold and silver. These coins are stamped with the king's seal, guaranteeing their value. They're light, portable, and widely accepted. This was revolutionary. Money became a tool to simplify trade, a placeholder for the value of real goods. Even though electrum was a mix of metals, it still carried tangible value rooted in the precious materials it contained. So, does solving poverty mean minting more coins and handing them out? Not quite. Let's leap forward to the 17th century in Sweden to see how the evolution of money took a surprising turn. Here, copper coins are the norm, but there's a problem. Copper is heavy, really heavy. Buying something big like a castle means carting around a wagon full of coins. Enter Johan Palmstruck, a Swedish banker with a bright idea. Instead of carrying coins, what if people could use paper notes? These notes represented the value of coins stored in a bank vault, and people trusted them because they could be exchanged for real metal anytime. This system worked so well that paper money quickly spread. But notice something important. Even though the paper had no value on its own, it was trusted because it was backed by something real. So is the issue that we lack enough gold or silver to back our money? Not really. In 1971, something happened that forever changed how money works. The US is booming, but there's a problem. The government has spent a lot on wars, big programs, and imports. The dollar is still tied to gold, but there are way more dollars in circulation than gold reserves. Other countries start demanding gold for their dollars, and US gold reserves shrink. On a hot day in August 1971, President Nixon goes on TV and announces, "From now on, dollars can no longer be exchanged for gold." This marked the beginning of fiat currency, money not backed by gold or silver, but by trust in governments. Essentially, the US said, "Trust us, this paper is worth something." And people accepted it because nobody asked them. So, if money is no longer tied to gold, why can't we just print more of it to end poverty? Let's simplify this idea with an example. Imagine there are 3 buyers, each with $1, and 1 seller with 3 oranges. Each orange costs $1, so everyone can buy one. Now, the government prints more money and gives each buyer an extra $1. At first, it sounds great, right? But here's the catch. There are still only 3 oranges. The buyers start competing, offering higher prices. Before long, the oranges cost $2 each. The extra money didn't solve anything, it just made prices go up. This is called inflation. But what happens if the government keeps printing money? Say each buyer now gets an additional $5. They each have $7, but the seller still only has 3 oranges. Prices skyrocket even further as the buyers outbid each other. Over time, as printing continues and inflation spirals out of control, the money becomes practically worthless. This spiral is known as hyperinflation, and history shows how devastating it can be. Take Zimbabwe in the 2000s. Inflation got so extreme that a loaf of bread cost billions of dollars. People carried wheelbarrows of cash only to find it couldn't buy anything. And yet, while ordinary people struggle to make ends meet, governments and central banks pump money into the system, often benefiting the rich and powerful. Is printing money just another way to widen the gap between the wealthy and the rest of us? This raises an uncomfortable truth. Inflation doesn't affect everyone equally. The wealthy can invest in assets like real estate, stocks, or gold that tend to rise in value with inflation. But for ordinary people, inflation erodes savings, increases living costs, and makes it harder to get ahead. So, if printing money isn't the answer, what is? True wealth isn't about the paper in your wallet, it's about the real goods and services we produce. Food, homes, education, and jobs. Poverty isn't just a lack of money, it's a lack of opportunities, resources, and access to basic needs. To solve poverty, we need to focus on creating value. That means investing in education, building infrastructure, and empowering people to contribute to the economy. Printing more money doesn't create oranges, bread, or computers, but building better systems can.